Hey everybody, James with Love My Pups, mybreedersupply.com. Puppy poop, that's today's subject, puppy poop. So we're going to talk about what's okay, what's not okay, how do you diagnose the difference between the two, and what can you do about it in the event that you've got a problem. So puppies tend to have loose stools, quite common to see that, but puppies that have got explosive diarrhea, puppies that aren't gaining weight, puppies that are crying, puppies that aren't pooping, those will all be situations that you want to get on top of quickly. So a normal puppy will be gaining about half an ounce a day after the first day after birth. So they'll typically lose half an ounce the first 24 hours. They should be gaining half an ounce from there on out. So you should be weighing, regardless whether you think you've got puppies and problems with your puppies, you should be weighing your puppies every day because it gives you a good idea of whether or not the puppies are doing okay or whether or not there's some impending problem. So weigh them every day. Puppies that aren't gaining weight are puppies that can get in trouble in a hurry. So what do you do? Well, the first thing is that you've got to get calories into a puppy. If a puppy's not gaining weight, regardless of what its poop situation is, you've got to get food into that puppy. And the one reliable way of doing that is to tube feed. If you put your finger in a puppy's mouth, it should be moist, the tongue should be pink, and it should be suckling vigorously. If all those things are going on, that puppy should be able to nurse on mum. If it's not doing any of those things, if it's cold, get it in an incubator, get it on a heat pad, get it warmed up. If it's not able to suckle, you are going to have to tube feed that dog. So then you tube feed goat's milk every 3 hours. Whatever it weighs in ounces, you feed that in goat's milk. So a 10-ounce puppy gets 10 cc's every 3 hours. All right, so let's get back to the poop situation. So if the poop is runny, then if you've got all the dogs with runny poop and you've got problems with puppies not gaining weight, I would go to the vet and get a fecal exam done on both the mum and the puppies. Let's find out whether there's some kind of a parasite. Coccidia and giardia are two common ones. Typically you don't see those in puppies that are only a week old, but you need to rule those out because if they've got that, then you need to treat it. If you've got puppies that have got blood or mucus in their stool, I would be concerned about that. And again, I would go get a trip to the vet and let's go get a fecal exam done and see if we can find out what the heck's going on, whether they've got some intestinal parasite. So a good just general thing that you can do with puppies that are getting diarrhea is to give them some pumpkin, canned pumpkin. Go get yourself a can of pumpkin at Wally World, and put that on your finger and put it in their mouths. Can't do any harm at all, and it generally will help with loose stools because it adds fiber to it. Because remember, these puppies are on a liquid diet, and it is quite common for basically, it's like shit through a goose. It's like they typically do have some fairly runny poop, but a little bit of pumpkin can help things out quite a bit. So that's an easy remedy that is easy to administer, is completely safe. Okay, so you've been to the vet and you haven't. If you found a fecal, a problem with a parasite, treat it. If it's giardia, if it's coccidia, treat it. If the puppies are 2 weeks old or older, you should be worming them. Start off with something, a very simple dewormer like Nemex 2, Panicure, those kind of products. You're going to move on to something a bit harsher like fendobendazole, that's also known as Safeguard when they're at 6 weeks or older. But if these puppies are 2 weeks or approaching 2 weeks and they've got poop problems, worm them anyway, because that can help fix a lot of things. General wormers have got some general kind of anti-bug stuff in them that can help generally any kind of bugs that are in the puppy's gut. If you've got problems and you've got puppies losing weight, and then go make a trip to the vet. It's probably time to give some antibiotics, even if you don't know what's going on. I don't like giving antibiotics without a diagnosis because it can upset stomachs. But if you've got a litter that's in trouble, then just a general broad spectrum antibiotic is probably a good thing to have. Okay, so what should the temperature of a puppy be? If you can take their temperatures, then their temperature should be something less than 101.5. If it's above that, that would be of concern. If mum's temperature is above a 101.5, then that's of concern, and it's time for a trip to the vet. All right, so what else do we can cover here? Tube feeding. If puppies are not able to nurse, and the good test is a finger in the mouth, a puppy should be warm in the mouth, moist in the mouth, suckling hard on your finger, and have a nice pink tongue. If you don't have any of those things, then specifically if it's not suckling, you are going to have to tube feed. So I've got a video on how to tube feed. What do you tube feed? Goat's milk. So you can get Espalac from your local PetSmart. It's the same thing as goat's milk. So if they're not getting calories in, you've got to give them calories. You've got to tube feed. If they're not pooping, which is the other end of the spectrum, and they've got really hard little bellies, then it's time to give them an enema. And it's very simple. Go get yourself a syringe, like a 10cc or a 30cc syringe. Go get some warm water, put a few drops of dishwashing soap in it, Dawn's dishwashing soap, anything that makes it slippery. Suck that up into a syringe and gently push that into their butt. And I don't mean stick it in there and ram it in there. I mean just gently put a little bit of water in so water is coming back out. And that can absolutely help a puppy that is constipated. And a constipated puppy will have a hard tummy and it will not be a happy puppy. And it may stop feeding if it's constipated. So that's a fix for that. Right, what else? I think I've covered really all the bases here. But yeah, not pooping, enema. Liquidy, too liquidy a poop, give them goat's milk. Continuous problem with the whole litter, go to the vet and get fecal exams done. If they're not nursing, they then feed them goat's milk, and tube feed is the way to get it done. You can feed with a bottle, but you can run into problems with aspiration pneumonia with a bottle, and I like to tube feed. It's so much simpler. You know exactly what everybody's getting. If all else fails and you're really having problems with puppies, then it's probably just time to give a broad spectrum antibiotic and see if that can help the situation. I hope that helps, and good luck with your puppies. And remember, we've got lots of products, including things like incubators, that are absolute lifesavers in situations where you've got puppies in trouble. Go to our website, www.mybreedersupply, for those. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to us, give us comments, and we'll answer them. And good luck with the puppies, everybody. Bye.